There appears to be an assumption that when you're good with ideas, that when you can paint, perform, write poetry, make theatre, make videos and film, or even advertising campaigns or television, whatever, that it's easy to be good with ideas. The assumption is that if you're creative, that you find creativity easy. Well, I don't know about that. You see, sometimes the creative process feels like a forest. Something that I call the forest of fail, a dark and scary place where thousands of ideas and opportunities go to lose themselves amongst the trees and in the shadowy corners of fear and anxiety. It's where good ideas go to die. And I've been in and out of the forest of fail since I first started studying art back in 1986. Goodness me, that's a long time ago. I found creativity hard back then. Still struggling with it now. I've never found it easy. But I have found ways of making it feel easy, or at least manageable. And I'd like to share them with you today. I'm going to take you through my personal toolkit that you can use to help ease the strain of finding awesome ideas. And I'll reveal to you the secret of what the creativity sweet spot is. But before we do that, I'd like to travel back in time and revisit an old question that's been troubling me for 30 years.
For the M6 heading south of Sri Lankan cricket board 11.
This is Dartington College of Arts. It's where I learned to paint. It's where I learned to play with ideas. It's where I learned to become an artist. It's a beautiful place that no longer exists. The buildings are still there, and the ghosts of the alumni still remain, but the College of Arts, well, that's gone. I spent 3 years at Dartington. 30 years later, I'm still trying to answer a question that my teacher and mentor, Sally J. Morgan, asked of us back then on our very first day. And some of us raised our hands. "Why are you here?" she teased. We were confused. "Well, hands up. Who thinks that they're not an artist?" she asked again and again. Some of us tentatively raised our hands. "Then why are you here?" she teased again. And it's this question that I've been trying to answer ever since. Why am I here? It's a trick question, obviously. It's a loaded one, and an invitation to a quick imposter syndrome session. It feels esoteric and existential on one hand, but ruthlessly pragmatic on the other. I've spent a great deal of time pondering over what kind of artist I want to be and what type of art I want to be making, but I always come back to Sally's question, why are you here? For me, it's the most important question that a creative can ask of themselves. There are others, of course. We can ask ourselves what creativity is. We can ask ourselves what an artist is or does. But both of these questions feel kind of fuzzy, and the answers to both of them would lead to daft manifestos full of weasel words. But why am I here? I'm here right now because I can't be and do anything else. I was born to do this.
You are the last catch. This is your last test. This is your last chance to flex.
I always knew that I wanted to be an artist from the very moment I saw a show called Gallery on Channel 4. I just knew that I was meant to be an artist. Artists were my tribe. Being an artist is my job. I have an office, studio, I have a company bank account. I'm registered at the local Chamber of Commerce as Marcus John Henry Brown UG Haftungsbeschränkt. I even have a company car. Why am I here as an artist? I'm here to find answers to complex questions. I'm here to make art. I'm here to tell stories. And I'm here to teach. Now, it probably comes as no surprise that I'm a big fan of the thinking and work and brand that is Joseph Beuys. And the older I've become, the more I've begun to appreciate his idea that teaching is an art form. Because creativity is a process that can be learned. You can't learn to become a creative genius, but you can learn to remember that you were one once. You see, we learn to be non-creative. We come into this world as tiny curiosity machines, fleshy, cute, and full of wonder. We build imaginary worlds full of play and discovery. Kids are creative geniuses. At the age of 5, a cardboard box is an opportunity to go and fly to the moon or travel to the bottom of the ocean. It's a paper portal to another world. By the age of 30, it's merely something that you can use to carry the clutter of life in. As children, we didn't solve marketing briefs. We cured boredom with imagination. Our kids are on fire with endless possibilities and energy and life. But as we get older, we have the curiosity and creativity taught out of us. We learn how to learn and how to pass exams and tests. We pour stat scores and PISA rules into the curiosity cogs of our children until all that is left is someone that on paper at least looks like a functioning certified KPI machine. We've been taught that curiosity is not to be trusted, and yet here we all are trying to find ways to be more creative. The LinkedIn gang would have us believe that creativity is our competitive advantage, and yet we're constantly told by naysaying corporate saboteurs that a lot of what we're doing is silly and that it shouldn't and can't be done.
People who say it can't be done should not interrupt those who are doing it.
A lot of what I do is what you might call a silly idea. My competitive advantage is my silliness. Like wishing everyone on the internet a very good morning.
Morning. Morning. Morning. Morning. Morning. Morning. Morning. Morning. Morning.
I've been doing that randomly for years and people seem to love it. At the core of what I do, however serious it may seem on the surface, there is always a silly idea. Having silly ideas is part of the creative process because there is a creative process. Gathering facts and materials, folding those facts with new facts and mulling things over, walking away from the problem until the idea finally comes around to you, and then executing the idea into a final finished thing. Understanding this process will get you out of thinking jail and out of the forest of fell and help you build fantastic things around initial silly ideas. In daily business, you're being asked to be creative. At a drop of a hat, you'll get a brief and you have a target to hit. Reactive creativity. Reactive creativity can feel like you're being asked to run a 100-meter dash in under 10 seconds, but your muscles are cold and you're still hungover and aching from that last design sprint. How can we turn reactive creativity into proactive creativity and always be on point and never pull a muscle? Fortunately, the Hulk gives us the answer.
I'm always angry.
Am I asking you to be angry? Always? No. But I'm asking you to be always thinking, always looking, reading, and sucking up inspiration, sights, colors, sounds, and ideas. Always being creative all of the time. Always ready to suit up and flex your creative muscle, because creativity is something you need to work at. It's something you need to train. You can start by using a curiosity book, a book of random and interesting things. Just one thing. Learn one new thing every day and write it down in your curiosity book. Go and look for a new thing. Learn. Learn to walk. Get up. Leave your desk. Leave your work from home hellscape when you've been given a brand new challenge. Stretch your legs. Fill your lungs with air. Fill your soul with the sights and sounds of the world. And learn to look. Take at least one photograph every single day. Gather new memories. Creativity as a muscle has a muscle memory too. Tap into everything you've ever seen, heard, or tasted. And learn the power of the remix. Learn to copy. Dive into the works, the worlds of artists and filmmakers, comedians, the musicians, inventors, and creators that you admire. Learn to steal from them creatively, taking one creative's world apart and putting it back together in a way that makes sense to you to create something new and quite remarkable. And take your time. Become professional procrastinators and do all of these things so that when it's time to act, time to build, time to make and execute, you can be swift and sprint into action without pulling a muscle. These tools help me remember the real importance of creativity, creating impact. Whether it be the material impact of solving a business problem, the personal impact on me as a creator or an artist, the impact of my work could have on society, or the emotional impact an idea might have on an audience member, viewer, listener, customer. Creating impact is what I do. It's what we do. It's what you do. You find yourselves at the intersection of these four things. You are the creativity sweet spot. Cultivating your creativity is your responsibility and nobody else's. Turning your creativity on 24/7 and revealing your creativity sweet spot to the world is your way out of the forest of fail. It's why you're here. And I'm here for that. Thank you.